So please applaud both Dani and the trailer for Star Wars VII, The Force Awakens!
I am waiting outside the 7:20 p.m. showing of Disney's Big Hero 6 on Friday, November 28th of 2014. It is the day after Thanksgiving, and I am filled to bursting with pie and hope. Not a new hope, unfortunately, but an all too familiar feeling of intense, consuming, almost strangling excitement and fear. See, I avoided Facebook all day. I said no thank you to iTunes. There is only one way I will allow mine eyes to witness the moment that is to come, and that is on the silver screen. The first 88-second glimpse of Star Wars Episode 7. For real, I might throw up. I'm that excited and scared. Because, of course, my dear friends, we've been burned before. We have endured character-damning special edition releases, Hayden Christensen, and the audacious, borderline offensive decision to re-release The Phantom Menace in 3D, for which I absolutely paid. We've been through a lot, you guys, and I'm nervous. Here is one illustration of my Lucas-induced anxiety. As I'm sitting on the bench outside the theater, waiting for the staff to clean up the popcorn and candy remnants of the previous showing, I begin to hear the faint but decidedly familiar strains of a certain iconic film score emanating from a neighboring theater. I bolt from my seat and sprint down the hallway with my hands covering my ears lest something be spoiled. No, not like this! I am deeply heartened to see that a fellow like-minded nerd sitting across from me did the same. Yeah, I'm a dork, but I'm among my people. Speaking of dorks, my boyfriend Elliot is with me. Now, Elliot is perfectly happy to be at the movies with me this evening, but he is also a well-adjusted, reasonable human being who does not have as much writing on this trailer as I do. Movie franchises don't dictate his life. Just as like a wacky random example, Elliot didn't weep bitter, empty tears after the first Hobbit movie because what the fuck, Peter Jackson? What did we do to hurt you? We're inside the theater now. Oh, we were the first ones in the door. It's the evening of Black Friday, and Atlantic Station is the only theater in the state showing this movie, so I insisted we get here 2 hours early. More folks begin to trickle in. The air is thick with the scent of Twizzlers and nacho cheese. It's a happy evening. Elliot lets me grip his hand a little too tightly with my sweaty, sticky nerd fingers. He has been to the movies with me before, and he knows that I tend to smack him on the leg when an exciting trailer plays. He sits beside me anyway. I love him. He knows. Darkness. Trailers are happening, people. My heart is pounding. Of course, they don't lead with Star Wars. We sit through previews of such coming fare as the remake of Annie, the Despicable Me spinoff starring just the Minions, Brad Bird's Tomorrowland, Pixar's Inside Out. I start to panic around the middle of the trailer for the SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water. Did I get something wrong? Did I misunderstand the internet? Is the Star Wars trailer only running before certain movies? Should I be at Interstellar or Mockingjay instead? There have been so many trailers so far. Surely we almost be done. Where is it? SpongeBob fades away. It's dark. It's quiet. And then, sand. I punch Elliot in the leg so hard that he makes an audible noise of pain. I don't have time to apologize. There's a black stormtrooper on screen, and he is my boyfriend now. And now there's a cute little droid that looks like a soccer ball. And now there's a female character who is not in obvious need of rescue. Someone just said dark side! And now there's a menacing figure in black brandishing a red lightsaber. New lightsaber! And now the Millennium Falcon herself, accompanied by that epic John Williams theme. And guys, I'm crying. I can't help it. I'm so happy. Yeah, I didn't learn anything about the plot or the new characters, but Star Wars! I got to look at it for 88 seconds. As the feature presentation for the evening begins to play, I sit back in my seat, relieved and delighted. Seeing a really good trailer fills me with the same sense of giddy exhilaration that a really good first date does. I mean, having coffee for a few hours doesn't give me a crystal clear picture of what another human being is really all about, any more than a few shots of lightsabers and stormtroopers tells me what to expect from The Force Awakens. But I'm still tingly with excitement about the potential. It might be my favorite stage of any relationship, truthfully, human or cinematic. When I go to bed tonight, there will only be hope and excitement. There's no pain, no harsh truths, no broken promises, no Jar Jar Binks. There's just something pretty that I can't wait to look at again. Seeing a really good trailer for a sequel is a different kind of date. For Star Wars in particular, I feel like I'm going out to dinner with an old flame who I thought had gotten away for good. Someone whom I've already seen at their worst, naked and confused, and frankly, sometimes kind of racist in their handling of their alien characters. But someone who I still really like, occasionally despite my better judgment. Star Wars is that number that I can never delete from my phone. We can go months and even years without seeing each other, but when its name comes up on my caller ID, I know that I'm going to drop everything and come running. Because we've seen Star Wars at its worst, but we've also seen it at its best, and at its best, it is pretty tough to beat. At its best, it reminds me of being 9 years old and pretending to be a Jedi Knight at the playground during recess. It reminds me of being 16 and going to see Revenge of the Sith at the Mall of Georgia on a school night, my first midnight movie. It reminds me of my first Dragon Con and how awesome it was to see a stormtrooper in person for the first time. Star Wars makes me happy. So, hi, Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. It's nice to see you. You look great. I know it's been a while. I think we've both really grown and changed over the last few years. I'm not saying that I trust you yet. But I am saying that I would like to do this again sometime. December 2015 is penciled in my calendar. Call me.
Scene missing.